Welcome to part 3 of how to play the trumpet. We're going to talk about how to sit and how to hold the trumpet. Now in band, when we're not playing, you can hold the trumpet several ways. You can just have it in your lap as you sit in the chair. You can have it sometimes if we're working real hard in rehearsal, you're going to be sitting up and have it on your knee like this so that you're ready to play. If we're in the middle of a concert song, you'll probably be sitting like this so you're ready to play when it's time to play. But as far as actually playing the trumpet and sitting, the first and most important step is that you sit on the front half of a chair. Okay, not a couch or a bed, but a nice sturdy chair. And imagine the chair on the seat part, halfway of that seat, and sit only on the front half. Okay, so you sit on the front half. Next part is that your feet are flat on the floor. You don't have ankles crossed, or you don't have your feet on your case, on the floor. Feet flat on the floor. Your back is straight. Okay, and then as you're with your back straight, you just bring the trumpet straight to your mouth. Okay, and you don't go like this, down to your trumpet. You sit up tall, bring the instrument to you. All right, then let's talk about where we put our hands and our fingers. Okay, so here's the trumpet. Here's my left hand. If you don't know your left and right, talk to your parents. Your thumb goes right here. Now, some trumpets are going to have this here. I think it's called a thumb saddle or a saddle. You put your thumb in there, okay? And sometimes it can even come through just a little bit to this side. And then my first finger goes on this side of the valves of my left hand. And then my middle finger goes into this ring. And then my other two fingers just kind of rest on there. Okay? And that's how I hold the trumpet. You hold the trumpet around the valve casings. And this is the primary hand and arm that holds the trumpet. My right hand, first you take your thumb, and your thumb goes on the valve casing, in between the first and second valve casings, underneath the lead pipe. Okay? And at first it feels kind of weird to do that, but the more you do it, the more normal it gets, and then your finger just kind of goes there. Okay, so mine just goes right there. Then I take my first finger and it goes on this first valve, second finger on the second valve, third finger on the third valve, and then I put my pinky on top of this ring. Okay, I just put it right there because then it's the same height as all my other fingers, and it doesn't. Going down here starts to create some flat fingers when I see kids start sticking them in there. So I'd like to put it up here, and then keep your right hand really rounded, like you're holding a baseball or an orange or something, and you're ready to throw it. You never throw it like this, right? And we never play our trumpet like this. Okay, keep those fingers rounded on the trumpet. Keep that pinky up here, and that's how we hold it. And then again, remember we talked about sitting tall and bringing the trumpet to you. And as you bring it to you, imagine this. This is called the lead pipe. Imagine this lead pipe is coming straight out of your mouth. Okay, not like this. I've had kids learn to play this way, even though I tell them over and over and over again to hold it up and hold it up and hold it up, and they just keep learning that way. Then they get to high school marching band, where we have to point up to the press box in marching band, and when they play like this, pretty soon you'll see how that becomes problematic to get your horn up to the press box, right? And then they struggle. So just learn the right way the first time by sticking it straight out your mouth, okay, and holding it up. So notice as I hold it up, my elbows are not touching my body, okay? My elbows are out, not like this, but just in a comfortable position out. And my bell is sticking out. Now, in band, we're going to have music stands like this, and you'll have it up a little bit. And so what I tell my trumpet players is I want that bell to point just so that the sound goes right below this stand, okay, in concert band. So you sit up tall, bring it right there, and so you notice it's not straight out, and it's not up, but just here. Also, it's not pointing at the floor. Okay, we don't want it at the floor. Now, if your stand is too low, like way down here, this would be way too low for band because the director will be standing up this way. Then your trumpet ends up getting too low also. It becomes a problem. There's multiple problems for having your stand too low. So make sure your stand is the right height, nice and high. And we'll talk about that in class, about how, where to put that stand. It's kind of hard to describe on a video, and then you point that trumpet right below the stand so that the sound will come right out at the bottom of the stand. So as you bring the trumpet up to your mouth, you'll put that mouthpiece right on your lips, and you want it to be centered directly below your nose, so that it goes right here, okay? And as you put that on your mouth, here's a little visualization. You want it to be about half and half. Now, there are some people who talk about 3/4 or and a quarter, but for me, when I play the trumpet, I do about half and half. Okay, and that's where that mouthpiece is going to go. Also, remember that it's centered on your mouth this way, not on this side or this side. So the next thing, in the last video I asked you to practice taking your instrument out, putting it together, taking it apart, putting it away correctly, and you should continue to practice to do that a little bit from time to time. But the next thing I want you to practice is doing this thing we call buzzing with your lips. And buzzing is the way you make a sound on a brass instrument. And so what you do is you just take lots of air in, you gotta have lots of air. And you can even practice doing that a few times, just taking lots of air in and letting it out. Okay? And then practice this. Okay, make that sound, however you make that sound. Okay? And then this time, make that sound again. Hopefully you've done it a couple times. If you haven't, go ahead and do it. And then this time as you do it, think about what's going on inside your mouth. What is your tongue doing? Okay? And then just make those longer. And do that a couple times. And then just do one long one. And you notice I still made that sound at the beginning. And I held the air out longer. Okay? And then once you get that down, then you can practice this. And what I'm doing is I'm just getting the corners of my mouth tight. And we'll talk about this a little more in detail in the next video, so don't stress too much. If you can't get it, we'll go over it a little more. But the corners of the mouth tight, form your M like form your lips like you're saying the letter M with tight lips, and then blow air as you push your lips together. Okay, so practice that between now and the next video several times, making a buzzing sound, even if you're just doing this. That's a really loose buzz, and then you can practice getting your lips a little bit tighter. Okay, and practice getting a buzzing sound going with your lips. And then we'll talk about how to apply that with the mouthpiece on the next video. We'll see you on that one.